Imagine building a functional PC with just 5,000 rupees. It sounds like a daunting task, doesn't it? But let's not shy away from this challenge. Instead, let's embrace it and see it as an opportunity to demonstrate that it's not always about the price tag, but rather the balance between price and performance. In this digital age, a personal computer is not a luxury, it's a necessity, and we're here to prove that you don't need a fortune to build one. The key lies in smart selection of parts. Yes, affordability is important, but so is compatibility. It's like building with blocks. Each piece has to fit perfectly with the others to form a cohesive whole. So are you ready to embark on this exciting journey? To transform a handful of affordable components into a working, efficient machine? Stay tuned to discover how to accomplish this feat. The first step in our journey is picking the right parts. When building a PC on a budget, every component counts, from the processor to the casing. Let's start with the brain of our PC, the processor. Typically, a budget build won't feature the latest and greatest CPU, but that doesn't mean you have to sacrifice performance. Look for a processor that offers a good balance between price and power. It might not be top of the line, but it should be capable enough for everyday tasks and some light gaming. Next, we have the RAM. This is where your computer stores data for quick access, so it's crucial for smooth operation. For a budget build, consider starting with a minimum of 4 gigabytes. You can always add more later if you find you need it. Then, we come to the motherboard. This is the backbone of your PC, connecting all other parts. It doesn't have to be flashy, but it does need to be compatible with your chosen processor and RAM. Also, check that it has enough slots for future upgrades. Now let's talk about the power supply. This component is often overlooked, but it's vital. It feeds electricity to your parts, so it needs to be reliable. Look for a unit with enough wattage to power your system and a good efficiency rating to save on electricity costs. For storage, an SSD is ideal for faster load times and a smoother user experience. However, they can be pricey. A good compromise is to get a smaller SSD for your operating system and a larger, cheaper HDD for your files. Finally, the casing. This is largely a matter of personal preference. Just make sure it has good ventilation and enough space for all your components. Remember, while it's important to be conscious of price, don't sacrifice too much on quality. The goal is to build a machine that's affordable, but also reliable and capable. With our parts selected, it's time to roll up our sleeves and get to work. Now comes the exciting part, putting it all together. We've got all our components laid out and ready to go, so let's get started with the heart of our computer, the processor. Carefully align the processor with the socket on the motherboard. Remember, it's a delicate piece, so no force should be needed. Once it's snugly in place, secure it with the lever. Next up is the RAM. Look for the long slots on the motherboard. These are your RAM slots. Again, alignment is crucial. Match the notch on the RAM with the ridge in the slot, then firmly press it down until the clips on either side snap into place. Now it's time to attach the power supply. This unit is what's going to give life to our budget PC. Locate the large 24-pin connector and plug it into the corresponding slot on the motherboard. You should hear a satisfying click when it's fully inserted. Don't forget to connect the additional 4 or 8-pin power connector to the motherboard to supply power to the processor. Next, we're going to install our storage devices. Whether you're using a traditional hard drive or a snappy SSD, the process is similar. Slide the drive into an available bay in the casing and secure it with screws. Then connect the SATA data cable from the drive to the motherboard and the SATA power cable from the drive to the power supply. Finally, with everything connected and in place, we can install our motherboard into the case. This is usually done by aligning the screw holes on the motherboard with the standoffs in the case, and then securing it with screws. With everything in place, it's time to close up the casing. You've just assembled your very own budget PC, but we're not done yet, so stick around for the next step, installing the operating system. Our PC is built, but it's not ready until we install an operating system. Now that we have our hardware assembled, it's time to breathe life into this machine by installing an operating system. The operating system, or OS, is the software that manages all of your computer's resources and lets you interact with it. Without an OS, your machine is just a pile of metal and plastic. Choosing the right operating system is crucial. It's the foundation of your computing experience. The most popular choice is Microsoft's Windows, due to its user-friendly interface and compatibility with a wide range of software. However, There are plenty of alternatives out there, like the open source Linux, which offers a multitude of distributions each with their unique features, or Apple's macOS if you're into that ecosystem. The process of installing an OS is quite straightforward. For Windows, you'll need a license key and an installation media, which can be a DVD or a USB flash drive. You can purchase a key online or from a physical store. Once you have these, boot up your machine, plug in the installation media, and follow the on-screen instructions. For Linux, it's a bit different. You first need to choose a distribution or distro, such as Ubuntu or Fedora. Download the distro's ISO file from their official website and create a bootable USB. Then, just like with Windows, boot up your machine, plug in the USB, and follow the on-screen instructions. Remember, during the installation process, you'll be asked to partition your hard drive. It's usually best to let the installer handle this unless you have specific needs. Once the installation is complete, you'll be prompted to set up a user account. This will be your primary account for accessing the system and installing software. And that's it. You've brought your machine to life. The thrill of seeing your screen light up with a fresh operating system for the first time is hard to match. Our PC is now ready for action. Now that we've got our PC up and running, let's put it to the test. We've built our budget PC, we've installed our operating system, and now we're stepping into the exciting phase of making sure that everything works as it should. Before we dive in, let's understand why testing is important. You see, testing allows us to ensure that our newly built computer is operating at its optimum capacity. It's like a health checkup for our PC, letting us know if all the parts are functioning well together. If there are any issues, testing helps us catch them early so we can troubleshoot before they become bigger problems. So how exactly do we test our PC? There are several methods, but we'll focus on two today: benchmark tests and stress tests. Benchmark tests are like the report cards of the PC world. These tests assess the performance of your computer's components, the processor, the memory, the graphics card, and so on, and compare them to standard measurements. This gives us a clear picture of how our PC stacks up against others in the market. There are plenty of free benchmarking tools available online that you can use. Stress tests, on the other hand, push your PC to its limits. They're like the ultimate endurance test for your computer. By running your system at high loads for extended periods, we can identify any potential weaknesses or failures. Again, there are numerous free stress testing tools online. Remember, while running these tests, keep an eye on the temperature of your components. Overheating can cause serious damage, so make sure your cooling system is doing its job. Once you've run these tests and everything checks out, you can rest easy knowing that your budget PC is in good shape. It's ready to handle whatever task you throw at it, be it gaming, video editing, or just browsing the web. And there you have it. Our budget PC has passed the test and is ready to use. Now you can sit back, relax, and enjoy the fruits of your labor. Building a PC with a budget of 5,000 rupees is no easy task, but with careful planning and patience, it is possible. We've walked through every step of the process together, from selecting the right parts to assembling them, installing the operating system, and running our first tests. It's been a journey of discovery, of understanding how each piece of hardware contributes to the whole, and of the satisfaction that comes from creating something with your own hands. There's something uniquely rewarding about building your own PC. It's not just about saving money, it's about gaining a deeper understanding of the technology that we use every day. It's about the satisfaction of looking at a finished product and knowing that you've built it from scratch. We hope this guide has been helpful and inspires you to take on your own DIY tech projects. If you found this video helpful, do subscribe to our channel for more such content. Happy building!